What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT. You don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about my theory, the Red Theory. Season 1 we're going to discuss here, but spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. So I know it's controversial, the Red Theory. Some people agree, some people disagree, some people aren't sure, some people hate it. But I'm going to go back into Season 1 and talk about some things. So if you haven't seen Season 1 of The Walking Dead, I'm not sure what you're doing here, but spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. On a side note, if you ever saw The Walking Dead back in the day, they would do a dead, white, and blue marathon. They changed out red for dead. And I know it's marketing, but I thought it was interesting. And in the thumbnail photo, we see Amy, well, I highlighted Amy, and the umbrella, and I guess the shirt on the chair, and the red cooler. Now, if you go back and you watch Season 1, and I think you should, to either support or refute the theory, if you go back and watch, we lost these people on Season 1 of The Walking Dead, or in Season 1. 3 fleeing criminals from the high-speed chase. Zombie Summer, Leon Bissett, zombie, Hannah, zombie, the Zigguard family horse, Wayne Dunlap, zombie, Ed, Pelletier, 3 unnamed RV camp survivors, Amy, Jim, Jackie, and Dr. Edwin Jenner. And we're going to focus on Amy, Jim, Jackie, and Dr. Edwin Jenner, but we're talking about Wayne and a couple other people too. So Amy is definitely a point of emphasis here because the Red Theory jumps out so much for her, but also Jim. And again, it's just a theory. And for those who don't know, the person wearing red or red objects around them, they may die or someone close to them may die. It's not like it's instant death if someone wears a red shirt. Like Jim does not wear red at all. There's red objects around him that he interacts with or is around, like the red Dodge Challenger. Now, Wayne Dunlap is the zombie here. 2 things I find interesting: the red sign in the warehouse, and also the red gloves that are on Jackie, or I'm guessing they're gloves, as no one else has red gloves, and Jackie dies later on in the season. Ed has a red eye, and again, it doesn't work 100%. The Red Theory is not 100%, and there are exceptions. But is Carol wearing a red outfit here? It's kind of hard to see, but either way, Ed's gone. He was terrible, and it was good. But when he was being beat up by Shane, if you look in the water right there, there's a red crate. Now, it's interesting because the red crate was being sat on by another character that is connected with the Red Theory. Again, it's not connected with Andrea's death, it's connected with Amy's death. The theory connects things with the character that's wearing red or is around red or a loved one. And yes, I know red is just a color, but it does symbolize warning, danger, caution, death. And also in Season 1, I don't have a picture of it, Amy is carrying this red bucket. Maybe it's the same red bucket. This is from Season 10C that Carol is carrying. Amy is carrying the red bucket in Season 1. Now, if you look at it closely here, it's a subtle little thing. You just see Dale, Amy, and Andrea. But look on the thermos or canteen or whatever you want to call that Andrea is holding, there's a red line there. Also, Andrea bought a mermaid necklace. It's hard to tell, but I don't know if the jewel at the top of the necklace is red or not. But in the store, there are definitely red objects there. And again, the red is not marking Andrea's death, but Amy's, her loved one, her sister, the person she cares about. Red's all around Andrea, and also the red backpack right there that Andrea is interacting with. It's subtle, but it happens numerous times. It's not like it's one time. And oh yeah, the red wrapping paper, maybe it's magenta, well let's go with it's red for the mermaid necklace that she wanted to give Amy. So there you go. Now, obviously we see the red Dodge Challenger, we see the red toolbox or the box on the ground, but the red Dodge Challenger was interesting. You would think, oh, Glenn's gonna die because he drove the Challenger. Well, obviously he didn't, but I think it's connected with Jim's death because Jim is the one of the people that stripped the Dodge Challenger. Now, when Jim was freaking out, I was tied to the tree. You're like, yeah, it's Shane and Jim talking, but look in the background. There's a little red there. And yes, I know red stands out on the show because some things could be drab. The red clearly stands out. But that's the point. It's there to stand out. You see Jim stripping the parts out of the Dodge Challenger to fix the RV. There's a little red rag on top of the RV hood that Dale and Jim are both probably using. But we all know that Jim was bit and he was tied to a tree, became a walker, and we don't know what happened to him after that. On a side note, a subtle note, it's later on in season 2 when Dale dies, but he's kind of surrounded by red a little bit often, but that's season 2, we'll have to get to that. And again, it's just subtle little things. It's a fun theory that I'm like, is there something to it? Symbolism, the whole idea of red shirts, a new character, definitely means a lot to me. How about you? Now, Dr. Edwin Jenner in the blue suit here is kind of surrounded by red a little bit. We see the red light in the back, also the biohazard sticker, and when he's talking, you see, well, it's more like an orange light, but it's a red light. It's not much, but we're just trying to make and support the thing. Some people say we're reaching, maybe, but I'm seeing red things here. Now also with the MRI virtual camera thing here, we see the brain stem fire up. Now it's red for emphasis to draw our attention, just like this is. But Dr. Edwin Jenner is clearly in the frame with giant red numbers. Warning, warning, caution, caution, danger, danger. And I find it interesting that it's Dr. Edwin Jenner and Jackie are the two people that die at the CDC with the giant red numbers counting down. So is it something? Is it nothing? I don't know. But if you go back and watch season 1, the red objects connect around the deaths that we saw. Now it doesn't always work and it's not 100%, but it's a theory. I think the high percentages bode some validity to it. Some people, haters, will just say, I'm reaching, I'm this, give it up, give it there. I've been talking about this red theory for a while now, and some people just hate to hate, and that's okay. But I'm not going to stop on a theory because there's definitely been some connecting points with it over many seasons. It's not like, oh, there was just a red cloth there and someone died. Or, yeah, Maggie's wearing a red shirt, she should have died. And again, there's always exceptions, but to me, the theory connects with the person that's around the red objects. Either they're in danger, they're going to die, or a loved one. And a lot of times it's loved ones for the characters, just like Andrea and Amy here. But thank you guys for watching. It's a fun theory. People get bent out of shape with it. Red, red, all I see is red. And does red equal dead in the Walking Dead universe? It's all good either way. It's a fun discussion topic and theory for the Walking Dead universe. Stay safe, and as always, tell them Daryl.